Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I am Shelby and I am so excited to bring you guys along for a few days in the life with me as a business owner and entrepreneur and just a spiritual wellness girly. Now, my intention with this week's vlog is to bring you along on a journey of reconnecting to my health journey and reconnecting to prioritizing my well-being. So if you followed along on Instagram, you may know that I have been sick for like 2 whole weeks, like this really funky, horrible flu virus. I'm still a little bit sinusy and just under the weather at the moment, but so much better to how I was last week. I honestly had to just take like 4 days off completely, just bed bound to rest and recharge. So through that, I realized that no wonder I got sick. First of all, because I have a 2-year-old niece who loves to spread the germs because she's just so friendly and loving, and with that doesn't know how to not sneeze all over your face. Thanks, Frank. But also because my immune system is so low, because I feel like I have just been hustling and grinding and go for the last few months, which I know as a business owner, like sometimes you need to do that, but also the human comes first. And this is what I preach to my clients, not only through a Touch of Clarity, which is my wellness center here in Adelaide Hills in Stirling, but also to my business coaching clients through Shelby Charlene Coaching. And I noticed that I was saying to my clients, we're coming into winter, like this is a time to hibernate and this is a time to prioritize yourself and your well-being, yet I wasn't taking my own advice. So I love when I take you guys along, whether it's through YouTube or over on Instagram, when I take you guys along for the journey of whatever it is that I'm committing to, because I guess it keeps me more accountable, because I'm not only doing it for myself, but also to create content and hopefully inspire and motivate you guys to do the same. So I'm really excited because I feel like bringing you guys along this week will just help me to remember to actually slow down and prioritize myself, my well-being and my health. So with that being said, let's officially kick into this week's vlog, and it is currently Saturday. What is the time? It is about 10 past 10 Saturday morning. I have a wellness center, as I mentioned, here in Stirling, where I offer a mixture of traditional therapies with my background in psychology and counseling, but I also mix it with a holistic approach. So that includes things like Reiki and breathwork, EFT, hypnotherapy, somatic therapy, all things like that. So I do this beautiful balance and mix of both. And so normally Saturdays are like my busiest day of the week, because it's when you guys have the day off usually and you come for your beautiful healings. And for the last week and a half, I have had to reschedule that many clients, and it honestly breaks my heart when I do this. I was messaging a friend about it, just feeling so much guilt, and they reflected to me that how can I give people this beautiful healing and give them quality like one-on-one time when I'm not even doing that to myself or for myself. And so it's been such a mental battle the last couple of weeks. I think if you're a business owner, you would really get what I mean about slowing down and rescheduling things. Like you just feel like you're so behind, even though it's your timeline, and being your own boss, like you put those deadlines in place. And of course sometimes there's things we can reschedule or things that we can't control, but when it's down to like me having these deadlines and schedules, I'm like, girl, like we can make it work, you know. And I think about, like, I have an employee on board who helps me out with social media for our shop Instagram, and I was thinking, like, if she messaged me as sick as I was, being like, hey girl, I need to take a week off, I would be like, oh my god, do it, like you sound so sick, you poor thing. And I would be so compassionate to her and be like, don't even worry about the Instagram, like who cares. Whereas when it's me, I'm like, all right, you can have 1 day to rest and then we're getting back to it. You know, when it's ourselves, I find that we don't give each other or give ourselves as much compassion and love that we give to other people. So that's something that I'm definitely prioritizing. But today I've tried to not overload myself with clients, because I'm still run down. I wouldn't say that I'm sick anymore except for my sinus and like my sinusy. Like I feel pretty good in myself, but I just feel run down. Like by the end of the day, I'm just tired and low energy. And also my cycle is only about 4 days away. So I think it's like a mixture of being run down and also PMS and all of that. And my cycle has been really irregular. The last cycle ended up coming 9 days early, and the cycle before that ended up being 9 days long. I'm like, what's the angel numbers for 9? Because that's just crazy to me. Whereas normally I am like so regular, a 5-day girly, and like to the day when I track my cycle, I will get it. So I know that my cycle's been a little bit off for the last 3 months, but I'm also aware that our cycle is our report card for the last 3 months. And if you have followed along, whether that is on my podcast or on the YouTube channel or on Instagram, you would know that end of last year I went through a breakup, which I think you can completely understand how emotional that would be, even though it was a beautiful ending to a beautiful relationship with an amazing human. It's still super emotional regardless, and I think that it's always going to have its toll on your energetic body, mental capacity, and also your physical body. So I'm very compassionate to myself through that lens, realizing that it's probably a lot of that kind of coming up at the moment and kind of purging. Plus it is my birthday in 10 days, and I don't know about you, but birthdays always bring up, especially now that I'm older, I don't think it did when I was a kid, but birthdays always bring up this weird kind of energy for me where I'm reflecting on where I am and maybe where I want to be, and also I don't know, it's like this interesting rebirth, I guess, where I know that energetically birthdays are like this reset and this rebirth. So around people's birthdays, there's often these thoughts or feelings, a lot of reflection and a lot of purging. So I don't think it's a coincidence that I have been sick and my cycle's been out of whack leading up to my birthday, but we can talk about that later on in this vlog. But I'm just kind of in this energy that I know something needs to change at the moment. I have so much going on in the business, and I'm so excited to share more with you guys throughout the next few days because it is super, super exciting. But I also want this vlog to be a reset for myself, to help me get back on track with my health and well-being, and also creating new rituals and habits, a new morning and evening routine that's actually going to support me as a human being, but in turn also support my business. So I can't wait to bring you guys along. I feel like this is a very rambly intro, but I'm so excited. So let's start. Today I have a really beautiful day. I have a partner session this morning with an incredible mum and daughter duo, and they're both individually clients of mine. One lives interstate, who's actually flown down, which I'm so excited because I love these two humans individually, and so I'm so excited to finally see them in a partner session together. And just partner sessions, whether it's with your partner or a friend or like your mum or daughter or whoever it is, they are just so special because not only do I get to feel and heal and help each person individually, but it also strengthens their connection and their relationship, and I just leave partner sessions feeling so amazing. So I have that first up this morning, and then I also have one of my OG clients who I love so much. She is just one of those clients that is so loyal. Like I could post something and she'll just buy it because she just trusts that it's going to be amazing, whatever it is. And I just love our sessions together because it really feels like two friends having a coffee and a catch up. And then we obviously do her session with therapy and healing, and yeah, it's just beautiful. So I'm very, very excited because I've had only online clients for the last week, and then prior to that I had to reschedule my clients. So today is the first day that I am back with physical clients, and I just love that aspect of my job, like actually sitting face to face, connecting with people and holding space for people and giving them my undivided attention. So I am very, very excited. Oh, this beautiful bird just landed on the windowsill right where I'm recording. I love Sterling so much because we have the autumn leaves at the moment and all of the beautiful animals that are coming out, and they're all like wet from the rain, and it's so, so cute. Anyway, I need to stop rambling now. Let's get into the vlog and let's kick off this Saturday because I just feel like it's going to be such an incredible day. I'm so excited because when I was sick, you know, when you're just like in bed, I ordered so many vitamins. Now, I am so bad at being regular at taking my vitamins, and it drives me insane because I just know how good they are for you, and I just don't have a good routine to take them. Plus, I wish I could be one of those people that has like 5 in their palm and they just like whack it back, tiny sip of water. But I am like an individual tablet girly that takes me like 5 seconds to swallow each one. But I don't want to ever feel how I felt the past few weeks, and I know that it is more about like a preventative, and I know that vitamins take like 3 months to kind of kick in, but I am ready to not ever feel how I have felt. So I went on to iHerb and I ordered a bunch of vitamins. I know that vitamins is a very personal thing, so please do your own research. I ordered all of this based off of a blood test that I had just before I got sick, so I knew what I was like deficient in, and I also spoke to my doctor and did my own research. So please do your own, don't order based on what I have, because I'm not a doctor or a health professional, and this is just what I'm going to give a go. So I am going to be taking vitamin C just while I am like sick, to obviously help with my immunity. I'm going to be taking moringa to help with my iron and also immunity. I have been taking moringa on and off for a while, and I do definitely see a benefit when I'm on it. So going to get back on my moringa game. I had like a women's overall vitamin in my cupboard which was still in date, so I was like, you know what, let's start taking this bad boy, and I think it's just an overall, kind of has a little bit of everything. I just ordered some magnesium and also some omega-3 because when I was looking into it, they said that women in their late 20s should be having omega-3, so I thought, why not give that a go. And then I have a natural powder which I will show you next time I take it because it's at home. I think it's called Foraged for You, but I could be lying. But it tastes really bad. I will preference with that. It is tastes like a mixture of liver and also the ocean, but when you mix it with juice, it's so fine, like you get it down. But I'm going to go back on taking that because that helps a lot with immunity and also low iron, which I know that I suffer with all the time. I don't eat enough red meat, so that's something that I'm really conscious of. And then to help with my gut health, because I already have like a leaky gut, let alone when I was sick, I was taking a lot of like Panadol and Nurofen to kind of get through. So I'm going to really focus on my gut health as well. So starting my bone broth again, which is perfect weather because it's absolutely freezing. So I'm going to switch my morning coffee on my drive out for bone broth. And I also ordered this black seed oil. I haven't tried it before, but one of my girlfriends swears by it and said that it is the quickest immune support. She takes a teaspoon when she's sick. She says it tastes really bad, but it helps a lot. So I'm excited to try this. I don't care how bad it tastes. I'm like, you know, when you get to that point where you're so over being sick that you're like, I will try anything. So I'm really hoping between the vitamin C, the black seed oil, my vitamins, that we can get this really on track and again use it more as like a preventative thing moving forward, because we're coming into winter now, and I noticed that I was only sick about 8 weeks ago, so I'm noticing that I'm getting sick quite often, and I know why, and that's something that I'll talk to you guys about later on in the vlog. But I know as being a business owner, I am definitely under a lot of stress and pressure. More so, I'm just busy all the time. Like, I noticed the last few days that I was really prioritizing like slow mornings for me, and I realized that that feels super unfamiliar. Like even this morning, having my first client, or my first session, at 11:30, I was still up super early, like ready to go. I did have to go and pick up something from my old housemate, pick up this from the post office, get petrol, like little things. So I did have quite a bit to do before coming to work. I have to set up like the partner bed and things like that. But I noticed that it was like not comfortable for me to kind of ease into my day. So I'm definitely going to incorporate that into my new like ritual, is having more slow, easeful mornings instead of like rushing, because I've noticed that I always feel like I'm rushing even though there's actually no need to, and that obviously kickstarts your fight or flight, which puts your body into stress, which lowers your immune system. Plus, I see so many people every single day and they're like literally laying on the bed and I'm like hovering over them. So if they're a little bit sick, I'm gonna get that. I touch people every day doing Reiki, and also I have a 2-year-old niece who goes to childcare, so I'm exposed to a lot of germs like every single day. So I'm just gonna start really prioritizing my immunity and my well-being, and looking at aspects of my life that I could actually switch out or slow down or connect back in with myself. And I've dropped the ball with my meditation, breathwork practice, with yoga, with going on my walks, like all the things that I know help me. I've dropped the ball. And then I'm like, why am I sick? And it's like, girlfriend, why are you sick? So I'm really excited. I'm gonna take some of this, get into the day, and I'm just so grateful to have you guys here. I feel like this is an absolute awful angle, but you're in my little kitchen and I thought we would try the black seed oil together. I don't know what I was expecting it to smell like and the texture, because it's like legit oil and like virgin oil, olive oil vibes, and it smells like black pepper. I'm actually scared for what it's going to taste like. Oh, I just feel like it's going to be so bad. Let's try it together. I'm actually scared I'm going to gag. Let's go. Okay, actually wasn't as bad as I thought. I could definitely do that daily, but it is the texture, man. And I want to show you, I actually do have one here. So it's called Foraged for You, the Mother's Blend. So this was the powder I was talking to you guys about before, and so it's supposed to help women who are breastfeeding or pregnant, and it's really good to like help keep all of your energy up. But you can also take it if you're not doing those things, obviously, like myself. But I notice a huge difference. So if you're looking for a simple way to boost your immunity, obviously do your research, see if it's the right fit for you. But for me it was amazing, so I wanted to just share that with you guys. Foraged for You, the Mother's Blend. Just finished with my last client. I am all packed up. The sheets are changed and we're ready to go home. I absolutely loved today. There's certain days where you just love your business, and today was one of them. I think since being sick and taking a few days off, like I've actually missed working so much. I never thought that I would be somebody who like craved to work or loved my job and career so much that I crave to be there when I'm not. Like I used to work jobs where I would love to chuck a sickie, whereas now with my business I hate it because I miss it. I love doing it and I think that's so special. But yeah, today's been incredible. I'm definitely ready to head home now. It's been a big day being back in to work when still feeling a little bit run down and a little bit under the weather, but it was amazing. I couldn't have asked for better clients. My clients, like at the moment, I love all of my clients, but the ones that I am working with in close proximity at the moment are just so beautiful. And they're the reason why I opened my business and why I wanted to do what I do. So feeling very, very grateful for my beautiful clients, my beautiful business today. And I'm ready to go home and have a hot shower and switch off. So I'm not sure if I'll vlog much more today, but we will see. Happy Monday, my favorite day of the week. I know that Mondays have such a bad reputation, and when I worked my corporate job, I definitely didn't look forward to Mondays like I do now, but since being self-employed, I love it because it's a fresh week of opportunities, fresh vibe, and we're obviously at the start of June as well, so it's a completely new month, which energetically it just feels so good and so clean, and I just love it. I don't think that I vlogged that much yesterday, but it was a really beautiful, restful day, which is definitely what I want my Sundays to be like. I have a really awesome job opportunity that's come up on Sundays, which I'll share more with you guys very soon. We're still figuring out all of the details, but with that I need to look at in my schedule where I'm gonna incorporate like my rest kind of day and where I'm gonna make sure that I have time for me. And as I shared with you guys on Saturday, I am really looking at the human behind the business and how I've been pushing my wellness needs to the back burner, and I don't want to do it anymore because not only is it showing up for me through my health and energy, but it's going to of course have a knock-on effect in the business. So it's something that I'm really bringing to front of mind at the moment, and again a reason why I wanted to vlog this week about getting back on track. So yesterday I spent the morning just in flow in bed. I am back loving YouTube and especially vlogs. So I had a cup of tea and a coffee in bed in my jammies watching YouTube. I'm loving Jazz by Jazz Handmade and her best friend Riley. They're both business owners, they're both women in business, and it's just beautiful to support them and watch their channels. It's really inspiring for me being a woman in business as well, let alone they're both in Australia, so it's really nice to see successful women smashing their business. So binged both of their channels for the first couple hours of Sunday, and then my mum and I went for the most beautiful river walk. So close to where I live there's this really beautiful walking trail that's really close to a river, and there's kangaroos and swans and just heaps of wildlife, which is just so beautiful. And even though we're officially in winter now in Australia, the sun was still shining. It was a little bit chilly, but it was really beautiful. And then after that I just literally went home and then just watched Stan. I'm watching a TV show at the moment, All American. I watched it when I was so young, like I'm talking like I think like 2016, 2018, but they have released, I think there's like 5 or 6 seasons. So when I got sick I started rewatching the first season, and now I think I'm already into like season 3, which is crazy. But it's just nice sometimes, like sometimes the most productive thing is to just put a TV show on and like just lounge around and be like a couch potato, which I definitely was yesterday. And this morning I woke up with so much more energy, feeling like ready to conquer the day because I rested. So I am definitely getting more proof every single time that rest is the most productive thing for me and also for my business. And then I finished last night by FaceTiming my granddad because he turned 90 yesterday, which it's just incredible to think that he is 90 years old. And the crazy thing is, he shared that my grandma, who has passed over already, her best friend turns 99 in June. It's like, how? 99 years old, like, it just blows my mind. But I just love connecting with him. He lives in England, which is where I was born, so unfortunately we can only FaceTime, and he only got on the internet maybe like a year ago because of COVID and everything. We couldn't fly back as much as we would have liked to, so we started FaceTiming him now that he has Wi-Fi, and it's been so beautiful to connect with him and talk to him more, especially on special days like his birthday. So it was a completely wholesome Sunday and exactly what I wanted and needed, and now I'm so ready to smash this week. I have so much happening behind the scenes, and today on a Monday is like my CEO days, so I try not to have clients on a Monday anymore. This is something that I've only started implementing maybe about 3 months ago, and it's made such a big difference. A whole day for me to work on the business and on new projects and look at things without having to then switch into client mode and being a healer or a coach. So it's really, really beneficial. So if you run your own business, I would definitely recommend having a half day or a full day of like a CEO day where you can do all your admin and like work on the business and your upcoming projects. But today is really exciting because I am co-working with one of my best friends, who I said to her it might as well be like a shared YouTube channel at this point, because I think that she is basically in every single vlog that I post. But Kirsten is one of my best friends, and she also works a few hours a week for Clarity. So she is our social media manager and creative assistant for the store, which we're in right now, and so she handles all of the social media for the store, which has been so beneficial and so helpful, and we have so much coming to the store which I cannot wait to share with you guys very, very soon. But we haven't seen each other for 2 weeks because she's been away on holiday, and you know, 2 weeks in like best friend time is like a lifetime, so I've missed her so much. So she's gonna drive to the center, we're gonna go to a little cafe and have a coffee and catch up, and then we're gonna co-work together, and then also have a meeting at the end of the day for the store, because as I said, we've got some really exciting products and some small settling into. Good morning, my loves. It is Wednesday, just gone 9 o'clock, and I don't think that I picked up my camera to have a chat with you guys yesterday, and I'm so sorry about that. It just ended up being an unintentional crazy day. So this whole week has actually turned out to be a little bit more chaotic than I would have hoped or what I'd planned, but it's okay. That's what happens with business sometimes. There's unexpected things that come up, and obviously in your personal life the same thing kind of happens, but with me it's been more so with the business. So On Monday, you guys would have seen that Kirsten came up to co-work, but she also works for Clarity for a few hours a week doing our social media for our store page, which is something that is very, very fresh and very new, and we're still figuring out how I want this direction and this kind of collaboration to go, because I know that we can really make the social media for the store so fun, whereas, you know, for Clarity being a therapy and like healing based, self-development based Instagram, it's a little bit more serious. I still post memes and I do the voiceovers because that's just who I am as a personality. Like, I love that stuff, and my love language is memes and references to TikTok, I think, sometimes. And I also think that healing doesn't have to be serious all the time, and that's why I'm different to other practitioners where they're going to make you lay on their couch and they're going to write down word for word everything you say. Like, sometimes with my clients, we'll have sessions where they're crying the entire time and I just give them snugs and advice. And then there's other times where we're laughing and then they're ugly crying and then we're laughing and we're referencing TikTok and we're using dark humor. But obviously there's still going to be that level where I laugh at their dark humor and then I'm like, you do know that you're saying that because of your trauma, and we then dive into it. Like, I am still a therapist at the end of the day, but I try and do it in a way that I would want therapy and healing to be. And if I have a beautiful relationship with my therapist and I feel like we're more so friends having coffee, where then she's going to give me advice and she's going to help me then move through these things, I'm more likely to open up. So I keep that in the front of my mind with my business. And of course, I'm going to guide people and help people heal and reflect things back to them and give them hard truths. And we're going to go through periods of time where therapy isn't necessarily fun, but it's necessary, right? But in saying that, I also have those clients where we've built such a beautiful relationship where they can really feel like it's just us as friends catching up and also getting therapy. So it's like bestie kind of vibes, if you know what I mean. So Clarity is definitely more intentional. And when I say Clarity, I mean like our main A Touch of Clarity account on Instagram, but the store, so A Touch of Clarity store on Instagram, I want it to be more fun. And to start with, I didn't really know what I wanted that page to be. So it was kind of boutique vibes. We were just sort of sharing our products and things like that. And then I had a real like hard think and sit down of like what I want that space to be. And Kirsten and I were supposed to have a brand meeting and a social media meeting on Monday, but she's been away for 2 weeks. And so the bestie side of us kind of took over, and we ended up going for coffee and having kind of a slow morning, which is actually really beautiful because she's been in the same stage within her business where it's like borderline burnout, and where we're both starting to feel guilty when we take time off. And with her being on holiday, she said she noticed that she was still working a lot instead of being maybe more present with her family and things like that. So it was unfamiliar for us both, and by the afternoon we were like, oh my god, we're so late, like we haven't done it as much as what we normally have on a Monday. But we also had to kind of catch ourselves and be like, this is what we're both trying to embody more of, is the slow mornings, the quality time with loved ones. It's the freedom that we opened our business in the hope that we would achieve. And it's like, what's the point in having your own business if you're sat to your desk slogging it for 12 hours a day? It was really cool because we definitely had more of a chilled Monday, and Mondays for me are normally my CEO days where I like smash out so much stuff. So it was like this kind of energy of playing catch up yesterday, which I was okay with. Like, it's okay to be in that energy because I went into the week in such a more slow kind of way, which is what I have been saying to you guys throughout this vlog that I want to do. I want to prioritize my health. And I noticed last week that I am constantly rushing when I don't need to be. Like, I won't have clients booked in until the afternoon, but I put so much pressure on myself that I still need to be at work by 7:30. And I'm a morning person, so I'm the most productive and the most articulate when it's like early morning and I'm in flow compared to like evening. I noticed last week that while I was getting ready for work, like I was rushing and my like, you know, heart was kind of racing, and I was like and then I wasn't even giving like people the time of day in the morning because I was like, I'm late for work. when actually I wasn't. Like, I didn't have anything booked in until the afternoon that I like needed to be at work for. But I was like putting so much pressure on myself to go to work and be at work by this certain time when I actually didn't need to. And I love coming to work early because you achieve so much before like the businesses around me open, and I achieve so much before like the world is kind of awake, if you know what I mean. But in saying that, I caught myself being like, what are you rushing for? And then with that, I reflected on how when I'm constantly in this like go, go, go masculine energy, when I am constantly making myself feel like I'm late or rushing, like I'm activating my sympathetic nervous system, which is where you're in your fight or flight. That's where your body is literally focused on survival and not on repairing. And so if you don't have like, so when you're in this activation, you're meant to have like a peak where your body is flooded with all of this stuff, adrenaline, cortisol, to get you through the thing that you're going through. Because realistically, it used to be for survival. So let's say that a tiger was chasing you, you'd have a peak and then you'd get away from the tiger and then it would drop back and you'd get back to your normal state or your rest and digest. But in this modern world where we're in chronic stress, we often don't have that down regulation. So we're just stuck in this peak where we're constantly like rushing, and that's not healthy for our body. It's where our body can't actually repair and heal itself. And so I noticed and I reflected on how by me rushing out the door every single day, I'm starting my day with this activation. I'm flooding my body with all of these chemicals and all of this response that makes it think that we're under threat when we're not. So with that being said, we ended up having to push back our social media and branding meeting to yesterday. So I was really grateful because Kirsten came up to the centre again and we could have an in-person conversation and meeting where we really mapped out what we want a Touch of Clarity store Instagram to be. And I'm so excited for this because we are officially on TikTok. Now, if you know me personally, you know that I love TikTok, but I've never like linked the business to it. And I'm so excited to show you guys what we're creating in that space. It's so much more fun and it shows more of my personality and more of the business's personality. We have lots coming to the business through the podcast, YouTube channel, TikTok, Insta, and I'm actually feeling so excited about it. Plus, I've been doing a lot of planning behind the scenes with some really exciting courses and masterclasses that's coming through Clarity, and also the business coaching. So I'm really, really excited to get that all launched. And I officially finalized the date and schedule for Creative for the Soul, which, if you haven't heard me reference before, is my 10-week manifestation and self-development course. And we're kicking this off early August. And so yesterday I went through like a huge launch plan. I'm going to finalize it today and then get it out to the world. And it's really cool because this is the third round that I'm running Creative for the Soul, and the last 2 rounds have honestly been incredible. Like, the feedback that I have gotten from the women inside this course is like next level. Sometimes I'm like, holy shit, did my course actually help them and support them in getting these results? Like, it's insane. But the third round, I'm changing the way that I deliver the course, and so it's going to be more kind of self-paced, more podcast form, so you can do it when you're on your hot girl walk, when you're driving to work. And I want to make the course more accessible to more people. And I think by having it more in digestible chunks, then you can allocate your drive to listen to the course. You can allocate your hot girl walk to listen to the course, instead of having to come to a 2-hour live call where it's like information overload. So I've learned a lot about how to run a course over the last 2 rounds, and I'm just so ready to take that information and make the course even more exciting and even more accessible, I guess. So I'm really, really excited about that. And then yesterday I recorded the podcast episode, because if you follow along on the potty, you would know that I launched season 3 in Feb, talking about my breakup, talking about how I was back and I was ready, and then I ghosted you guys. So that was not cool with me, but equally I've just been giving myself the time and space to heal from my breakup that happened in December, and to also figure out what I want the podcast to be. So it's having like a little mini shift rebrand, and I'm bringing a lot more of the business into the podcast, which I'm really excited about as well. And then yesterday, after my huge day, Kirsten and I raced to go to a sauna. So something that I'm really prioritizing, as you guys know, because I'm a stuck record, is my health. And I have been intentional with booking things in that I know is going to help me. And so booking things in advance. So what that looks like at the moment is some yoga classes and some sauna bookings. So I had one yesterday, and then I've got one next week as well. And we went there and it was just so beautiful. And I definitely think that it's going to help just pull out the last little bit of my sickness and get me fully back healthy and on track. Today I am editing the podcast I recorded yesterday. I am creating content for the business coaching Insta and also Clarity Insta, and then I am doing some exciting work on the projects, which I can't really talk to you guys about yet. That's today really. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here, get into the day. It is a few days later from when I last saw you in the vlog, and I realized that I never actually closed off the vlog. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me on this random kind of vlog of just a few days in my life. I realized since starting to edit that it was a lot more of me just talking in this one compared to normal, but hopefully some of the stuff that I chatted and rambled about resonated with a few of you. Since recording the last day of the vlog, I feel so much better. So some of the stuff that I have been implementing has definitely helped. Like, I feel 100% health wise again, thankfully, but I also know that that's when I kind of slip up and kind of go back into my bad habits. So I'm really mindful not to do that this time. But I think the main changes that I made was prioritizing rest, even down to little moments in the morning. Like, I haven't been as rushed. I know I shared that with you guys, that I found myself like rushing to get out the door. So I've stopped doing that, and I've been, 30 to 60 minutes later at arriving here, but I just feel so much better, and I don't have that like brain fog or like burnout like I was getting. So that's been huge. I've been prioritizing Sundays as my day to rest and really looking after myself. So watching wellness vlogs or movies, doing a yoga flow, getting back into my meditation practice, and all of these changes I've tried to make really achievable. So not saying that I'm going to sit down and meditate every single day for 20 or 30 minutes. It's like 5-minute meditation, 5-minute journaling, 5-minute flow, or watching a yoga flow and just like following with that, because then you get distracted and you ended up doing the whole flow before you know it. So I've been really trying to just add like little micro moments into my day that obviously build up and compound together and make a huge difference. And I have definitely been a lot better, not perfect, at taking my vitamins and my powder and my oils, but I today set an alarm and then an afternoon one so that I can get an alert in the mornings, take half of my vitamins, and then alert in the like late afternoon, early evening, and take them then, because I found taking like a handful of vitamins is where I was like, and I'd feel gluggy from all of the water. So again, it's just about like taking audit of what's working, what's not working, and then making changes.
But thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna wrap this vlog up here. Please subscribe if you're new, or comment below. Let me know how you found it or what you want to see more of from me. I have so much coming to my Instagram accounts and obviously to YouTube and the podcast, so make sure that you subscribe on all platforms because I would love to connect with you guys even deeper. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you in my next video.